When Terminator Dark Fate came out in 2019, people had already gotten tired of the woke Hollywood entertainment industry. From 2016 on, it was very clear that a lot of these studios, a lot of directors, a lot of people in the entertainment industry were far more concerned about sending a message with their movies or with their TV shows than they were about actually telling a good story. So when Dark Fate came out, and the advertising looked terrible for it, the director came out and said, you know what, maybe it's just a bunch of toxic men who don't like this. Nobody showed up to watch it. It made $250 million in the box office on a budget of nearly $200 million. This thing needed $475 million to break even. It lost over $100 million. Now, finally, the director of Terminator Dark Fate, the person who came out and attacked the fan base and tried to make excuses for his woke flop, is coming out and saying, you know what, maybe I made a mistake. Tim Miller, on his attempt to revive the Terminator franchise with Dark Fate, I was wrong. And unfortunately, I still don't think he quite understands what he did wrong. I think maybe he thinks people are just tired of the same old franchise, instead of the fact that when you decide to call your fans misogynists and trolls simply because they're like, wow, certainly seems like you're sending a message here, maybe that's not the right way to go. Terminator Dark Fate director Tim Miller admits the film was a mistake, previously called fans closeted misogynists. Tim Miller regrets making Terminator Dark Fate as much as fans regret that it was made. Speaking about it in recent interviews, he says, quote, he was wrong and that the film was a bad eureka moment. I went in with the rock-hard nerd belief that if I make a good movie that I wanted to see, it would do well. And I was wrong, he said via Deadline. It was one of those fucking eureka moments in a bad way because the movie tanked. At least he's admitting that. And you know what? The person from Collider who was interviewing him, he said, what do you mean it tanked? It made $300 million. No, Tim Miller rightly understands the same thing that we say all the time. Doesn't matter what the box office number is by itself. Something could make $400 million. Doesn't mean it didn't flop. Because if you spent $250 or $300 million to make it, you're not even coming close to breaking even or getting your money back when you factor in advertising, when you factor in the box office cut. This movie lost somewhere between $150 and $200 million, and he fucking knows it. Terminator's an interesting movie to explore, but maybe we've explored it enough. Most fans would agree with that summation if they break it down and look at the numbers. It was clear Miller and company were hitting a creative dead end by rehashing the same story of the first two movies, and worse, killing off humanity's only hope to make way for a petite female protagonist to become the hero and the new leader of the resistance. When it was pointed out, here it is, when it was pointed out the gross is still close to $300 million mark, Miller responded, then why aren't people returning my phone calls? You know what, Tim Miller, I'm glad you're finally understanding that maybe it was a mistake to do this, but I still don't think you understand why it flopped as hard as it did. There's been bad movies that come out, there's been sequels and things like that that come out, but what you did by trying to make excuses and by attacking the fan base, that was really where you went wrong. Remember this? Tim Miller says Terminator Dark Fate will scare the fuck out of misogynistic internet trolls. But the poster that came out with the three female protagonists of this movie, with Linda Hamilton, Natalie Reyes, and Mackenzie Davis, which unironically, got the nickname the LGBT 1000 going, right? People made fun of it because it looked ridiculous. It looked like a parody. But what did Tim Miller do? He came out and attacked the fan base before this movie was even out there. He tried to say, well, if you just don't like it, it's just because you're a troll, you're just misogynistic, we're going to show strong, powerful women in this. Well, people didn't show up. And then what'd you do after? Director Tim Miller blames Get Woke, Go Broke sentiment for Terminator Dark Fate's box office bomb. The clip begins with Miller saying, there was a lot of Get Woke and Go Broke sentiment that didn't help us. There was a lot of issues about having 3 women in lead positions and all that stuff. There's quite a toxic atmosphere around this film online, which I was really surprised at. I shouldn't be, but I was. You're the one that started it in reality. Yeah, people were criticizing it because it looked ridiculous. You made a really bad decision to put a poster out that looked like that. You could have salvaged it. You could have rolled with it. You could have come and done something else. You could have brought fans back in, but no. But you decided to attack them, Tim Miller, and now you're finally figuring out that maybe this entire thing was a bad idea. Yeah, it was a bad idea, not just for the reasons that you talked about in making this movie and deciding to do it the way you did, but also, when you come after the fans like that, it will not work out for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.